I was reading the book of John, chapter 9. I believe it was chapter 9. Of the dealings with Yeshua and the blind man. Yeshua healed the blind man. And after he healed him, obviously the Pharisees got hold of the situation. And the interaction between the Pharisees and the blind man's parents, because they didn't believe that Yeshua did the healing. And the parents were afraid of being cast out of the synagogue, out of the assembly. So they answered questions a certain way, and then they finally went to the blind man. Then the blind man talked to the Pharisees very, very straightforward, and brought questions to the Pharisees, questioned them, and they were like, "Yeah, you don't have a right to question us. We're the leaders." And they kicked that blind man out. They cast him out of the assembly. And when I look at our forefathers, the men in the Bible, I see a strength, a faith, a belief. They didn't fear. They had times where they feared, Peter and things like that. But you see a strength that they had, a strong belief, faith. Today, that's not there. Today, we have church. And they fear you and everything. We have so many different doctrines. We have the doctrine of, money cometh to me now, prosperity gospel. I heard a pastor from the prosperity gospel, his name is Leroy Thompson, said something along the lines of, if you want to make it to the heaven, you got to put some money there. I just scratched my head like, oh gosh. You had a whole church full of black folk waving their tithe and offering in the air, hoping to buy their way into heaven. Then he's up there preaching, and then, you got people running up to the front and throwing the money on the step. Type it in. Type in Leroy Thompson, money cometh to me now. And you'll see he has a whole doctrine on that. You got people who tell you doctrines on if you don't live in community like us, you're not truly living it. You see, and all these people will make it exclusive. Like, you can't make it to the kingdom unless you do it the way we're doing it. You see how this is. You see how this life is. See, I'm not afraid. I can read the book. See, I'm not a slave. I'm not, back when the Hebrews came over into this country and were put into slavery. And they made sure that we couldn't read and write. Now today they tell you that, oh, you might be able to pick up your book and read it, but they have to explain it to you. See, there's always something that removes your ability to have the relationship with Yah that the book says you can have. There's always something that removes your belief in Yeshua. There are people that say things like, well, Yeshua, I don't believe in the renewed covenant. He's not real. You have people who run around knowing that his name is Yeshua or, Yahusha, whatever. But they'll still call him Jesus. And that stuff, I just look at it like, wow. That's like saying that I know that the seventh day is a Sabbath, but I'm still going to go and keep the fifth day as Sabbath because I feel like it. Because, good things happen to me when I kept the fifth day as Sabbath. You see, I'm going to start talking about not just this, but, government, things like that, because I'm seeing a correlation. I'm seeing a definite correlation, a definite abuse. We have a system that abuses the people, and then we have so-called leadership that abuses the people. Now, very few people will ever stand up and say anything about it, but if you look at the book, Yeshua was hated. And he wasn't hated by the Romans. He wasn't hated by the Greeks. We have a teaching on that, the Romans and the Greeks and their favorite color, when they esteemed somebody and wanted somebody to become part of them low-key. In Israel, to become part of them low-key, they gave them purple and gold. We have a study on that coming out. But Yeshua's enemies were they of his own household. They were literally the Pharisees. the religious sects, the religious organizations of the time that he walked. And you look at it today, and if you are in this faith, you will find that it's even worse for you. It's even worse for I, those of us that truly believe and love the Father, our Father, Yah. What you'll see is, you see a correlation between the Greek Romans and your so-called brothers and sisters. You'll find more oppression today in the faith, while people argue about people outside of the faith oppressing you. People will take more from you and use the strong arm of religion, use the strong arm of, this is what Yah wants for you, God, this is what God wants for you. Yet when you read that book, and see, I'm not afraid to read the book. I'm not afraid to read the book and do what the book says. You know why I do have a fear? I have a fear of reading the book and then deciding that I'm going to let some man tell me what the book says. I have a fear of reading the book and then some man coming to me and telling me something that the book doesn't say. And then I end up confused or lost because some man came. See, I'm going to do what the book says. And if that means that I'm going to be hated, if that means that I'm not going to be popular, and if that means that I'm not going to have a channel booming with people wanting to pay my money, or pay my bills and give me money, if that means that I'm not going to have the things in this life that I could have if I sell myself, because I know I've been offered, hey, brother, be an elder and we'll give you this. Hey, speak good about us and we'll give you that. And I said no to it all. And we'll continue to say no. Because if Yahshua was tempted in all ways, we're going to be tempted. And the devil sure as hell went to Yah and said, hey, I'll give you all the kingdoms of the earth. If you just fall on and worship me. Just do what I want. So people, hey, you could have this, have that. I'll pass. I'll pass. The Father's blessed me. The Father, Yah, has blessed me. Has given me more than I could ever want. People, oh, you're jealous of what? What's there for me to be jealous of? What's there for me to be jealous of? When Yah has blessed you, there ain't no reason to be jealous. You'll be happy for your brother. Hey, brother, you succeeding, man. Bless you, brother. I'm so happy for you. You got people today running around saying you're jealous of them because you don't have what they have, but you're not asking for what they have. You're thankful for what Yah's giving you. See? You got to get some common sense about this. This is a spiritual battle. But what I'm seeing more and more is that most people who say they believe something don't really believe it. They need a bunch of people to second them, to tell them that they're right in order to walk that out. I'm going to walk this thing out on this narrow path where there aren't a lot of people on, whether anybody likes it or not. I'm going to walk in the freedom of Messiah, whether anybody likes it or not. I'm not asking anybody I'm not asking anybody on this channel to like what I'm saying. I'm letting you know what I'm walking, that I'm going to follow the book, that means the Bible. And if you don't like it, then you've got a problem. And the problem isn't me, it's yourself. It's the truth. We're going to have more of these discussions. More on the imprisonment of your belief. I believe in protection. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the right to bear arms. I believe in the freedom of speech. Not because some government told me, because the Bible tells me. I believe that I have the right to grow my own food and to have my family and to raise my family without the pressures of a society that wants my boys to be girls and my girls to be boys. I don't care if people say, you're wicked because, look, you have more than one wife. You've got 3 ribs. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask your opinion. And you notice you want to have them on video. I'm not asking you whether you agree with that. So we're past all that. I believe the book. And if you believe your pastor over the book, and if you believe your elder over the book, and if you believe your mom and your daddy over the book, and if you believe your friends and your cousins and your uncles and your aunties over the book, then that's your belief. I'm not here to put salt in your belief. Following Yeshua, the channel is following Yeshua. That's what I do. And if you don't like it, go back to church. If you're scared, homie, go to church. Bless y'all. We got more of these coming. Shalom.